Welcome in, everyone. I don't even know if that's the right thumbnail for today's live stream. I seem to have ended up with a whole bunch of different intros, and I think that's the right one. I'm just going to start with this, which I think everyone's aware by now, but hey.
Parton is being remembered as one of the most popular music acts of the past century. Born in Pittman Center in Tennessee in 1946, Parton was the fourth of 12 children. She grew up in poverty, but said her parents created a loving family environment and credited her mother for her musical abilities. Parton began performing as a child on local radio and television in East Tennessee, and later enjoyed early success as a songwriter, penning and co-penning several country hits. One of her big breaks came in 1967, when country music entertainer Porter Wagoner offered Parton a regular spot on his weekly television program, The Porter Wagoner Show. The pair would go on to release a string of successful duets on the country charts, before Parton had her first solo number one, Joshua, in 1971. In 1973, she recorded one of her most iconic songs, Jolene, which also went to number one on the country charts. The following year, she topped the countdown again with another iconic track, I Will Always Love You, which was later famously covered by Whitney Houston. Throughout her career, Parton sold more than 100 million albums. Some of her other famous hits include 1980's 9 to 5 and her 1983 duet with Kenny Rogers, Islands in the Stream. As a recording artist, she won 11 Grammy Awards, including a 2011 Lifetime Achievement Award, and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1999. Parton was also a presence on the big screen during her career, especially in the 80s, when she starred in films like 9 to 5, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Rhinestone, and Steel Magnolias. She also has 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The first, in 1984, came in recognition of her success as a solo entertainer, and the second in 2019 for her work with fellow singers Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt on the 1987 album Trio, which was a major hit. In 1986, Parton bought an interest in a theme park in Tennessee, renaming it Dollywood. The park remains one of the state's biggest tourist attractions, drawing more than 3 million visitors a year. In her personal life, Parton married Nashville native Carl Dean in 1966, after meeting him 2 years earlier outside a laundromat. The pair remained together until Dean's passing in March 2025. The couple never had children, but Parton was well known for her philanthropy, donating millions to causes including education and disaster relief.
Yeah, didn't see that coming, but I mean, she was 80, but you know, you kind of don't expect. I mean, I guess for all of it, a lot of us, you know, she was always there. I mean, she was famous before I was born. So yeah, you know, that that's why I put rhinestones as my background today, just as a little tribute. I thought that was probably appropriate. Now I haven't had a chance to actually just cleaning up a bit here. I haven't had a chance to say welcome in to everyone. Sorry, crazy morning. Welcome in Bonza, Ariel, Summer Breeze, Ernestine, Charlotte, Hugging Demons. Oh no, I'm missing people. Sorry, I'm scrolling too fast. Grover. See, this is what happens when I'm in late. The chat's already so full that I don't know if I'm missing anyone. Teresa, Camilla, Gaspergirl, Brookie, Rita, Deborah, and anyone else that I might have missed that I'm completely unaware of. Welcome in, Sky Painter. Okay, just give me half a sec. I hate saying this because of the whole Anita thing, but I do have to periodically mute myself. I haven't taken any antihistamines today, and the waddles are out in full force. So, yeah. The cops who shot Sonia Massey died today, too, in prison. I'm not aware of that case, but I'm surprised that they actually ended up in prison based on some of the cases I've seen. Yeah. I know. Okay, and something that this is significant in Australia. This is a case from Tasmania. This woman, and I know there are some people who believe Sue's guilty, but I've read through all the court documents. I've gone through 2 books. I've read all the. I've listened to. Basically, I've researched this extensively. I believe that she was. It was a gross miscarriage of justice. She was not guilty whatsoever. Sue Neill-Fraser in 2008, I think it was. Her partner went missing from their yacht. It was moored at a marina down on the Derwent River, and he went missing from the yacht. Now he was never found. And good old Tassie corruption. They basically charged Sue with his murder, even though they had no solid evidence at all. Since then, there's been a woman who's come forward and admitted that she was on the boat with her partner and another person, and her partner is from a well-known crime family in the area. And this girl has admitted that she was on the boat when Bob Chappell was killed. But anytime there's been appeals and stuff, there's been pressure put on this girl, and she's ended up not coming forward as a witness. Anyway, Sue, after 13 years, was given parole, I think 2 years ago. And the parole board put a gag on her, basically preventing her from speaking to the media or allowing anyone on her behalf to speak to the media, to plead her innocence. Finally, there was an appeal with the Human Rights Commission, and the gag order has been lifted. So she is now actually allowed to speak out about her charges, and she's allowed to finally come out and say, speak her piece, basically, to plead her innocence publicly. So this is a huge, huge thing. I know a lot of mainland media won't pick up on it probably, because it's a Tasmanian case. But, gross miscarriage of justice, and, one step in the right direction, in my opinion. I'm going to see if I can do an interview with Sue. I did do, probably about 2 years ago, I started a series talking about Sue Neill-Fraser. It didn't go far because the media outlets that I was sourcing clips from kept hitting me with copyright. So I didn't continue with it. But I might do a newer video talking about Sue's case, and if I can, I'll try and do an interview with Sue, whether it's a live stream or a pre-recorded. But watch this space. So back to Lily and Jack. Because I was so busy trying to get Mouse in, I just quickly went to grab images, and the first one I had Maddie on it as well. So why not? We'll have Maddie on there. I think when I do my Maddie Mondays, I'm going to continue to do back-to-back like I did yesterday. That worked for me really well. And I might do a few other back-to-back ones through the week. If I'm organised enough, it seems to work well for me to go back-to-back, and then, it's a good way of doing it for me. I know, these gag orders. I mean, you would want to tell them what to do with their gag order. Of course, the fact that she was on parole meant that she couldn't tell them what to do with their gag order, because they would have thrown her back in prison. So, I agree. It just speaks to the level of corruption that exists in that state. 2 states in Australia that are known for their corruption. And I have to say, from what I understand, Tassie's probably the most corrupt. I can't imagine this poor woman having to go through losing her partner and then being accused of being responsible for that and ending up in prison. And then to actually have the girl who was there, whose DNA was found on the boat in a very, very large sample, coming forward and saying, hey, yeah, I was there and I saw it. Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, the thing with, she couldn't even go, like, she could go to rallies for her, but she couldn't speak at them. And how many other people have been victims of corruption from organisations, and because of the size of the organisations have been silenced because they know that if they speak up, that, similar thing. My heart goes out to Sue. I can't imagine. What are we going for? It must be heading up to 18 years. It's over 18 years now since Bob Chappell went missing. And this has been her existence for 18 years. Not only that, but her daughters, I'm not sure if it's her oldest, but one of her daughters has been fighting this for just the whole time. She's been fighting on behalf of her mother. It's a full moon and you feel off today. Yeah. Full moons will do that. Put your crystals out for a moon wash. I actually have a amethyst that hangs over my microphone. If it ever comes to the point where she's given a pardon, then she should hopefully be entitled to some. It was exactly the same with Lindy Chamberlain. She should be entitled to compensation if she ever gets this pardon. But in the meantime, it's cost her and her family hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars fighting this over the years. She's been fortunate that a lot of people have stepped in and helped with the fight. Put it on my windowsill tonight. Oh, okay, cool. I also have a few hanging on my bedhead. She was released 2 years ago, but part of her conditions for parole was that she wasn't allowed to speak out on her behalf. So she was not allowed to speak to the media or anything. Oh, heck yeah. Definitely generational trauma. Summer Breeze is in some sort of glitch, and her things are just reposting, which reminds me I should put comments up on stage. Oh, cool. I will do that. I like that idea. Oh, I know. Professions that are aware of the full moon: teachers, police, and nurses, or anyone actually working in any sort of medical care, emergency rooms. When it's a full moon. I must admit, there have been so many times when I've been out driving and I've been saying, must be a full moon, and sure enough. Yeah. Oh, yeah, nursing homes too, I'd imagine. I know it's despicable, isn't it? That is the level of corruption that exists in a teeny tiny little state like Tasmania, that is basically an island state and is pretty much ignored by the other states because it's like the embarrassing relative. So they just basically do their own thing. You have the boys' club, the nepotism, the corruption. This is why so many people leave the state. Anyone in logistics and shipping. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. You always know when there's a full moon. That's for sure. Anyway, move that from studio. Whoops. As a kid, we lived near Morisset. Stepdad often drove us through. You'd see and hear weird stuff on a full moon. Is Morisset like Willow Court kind of thing, like a mental institution kind of place, or I'm not sure what Morisset is. If you have a client cancel at the last minute, like today, or no show, it's always a full moon, guaranteed. Yeah, some people do tend to be affected by it. Which actually, I'm actually glad someone pointed out that it's a full moon, because I was kind of feeling annoyed at someone for something they didn't do, and I was fuming and thinking I was going to send them a real up yours kind of email. And now that you're pointing out that it's a full moon, it's probably a good thing that you mentioned that, because I could have just been completely burning bridges. Right. Massive hospital, Ward 21 housed Australia's worst criminals. Right. Gotcha. So, yeah, probably... definitely excuse for squirrels. Well, speaking of squirrels, let's start with... actually, I think this gets mentioned. So we'll start with this one and then jump into a bit of Daniel.
I had a blast of wine, then poured another. Told the bad boy, come right over. Left both doors open wide. He said, you best be armed, I'm coming inside. I grabbed my QQ and some Merlot. Called my husband, said, here we go. Message detectives on my phone. The bad guy's coming, I'm not alone. They're chasing me down the road, doing 140 in my Mercedes load. Call 911, but they're too slow. Gotta reach the cops before they know. 6 police cars on my face. Ski mask dude in a Honda Chase. I'll race them all with my V8 while calling Ralph, don't make me wait. He said, slow down, I said, no way. These hillbillies want me today. Pulled up to the station gate. The cops just stared and made me wait. They're chasing me down the road, doing 140 in my Mercedes load. Called 911, but there's a slow. Gotta reach the cops before they know. Met detectives at Tim Hortons, played the tape of all his warnings. Mad Dog said you did just right, while 9 more crates come out at night. Husband told him I'm not crazy, sent the cops home being lazy. Tomorrow getting faster wheels for when more villains chase my steel. They're chasing me down the road, doing 140 Mercedes load. Called 911, but they're too slow. Gotta reach the cops before they know.
Yeah, oh gosh, Anita on a full moon. That's a frightening thought. That's a really frightening thought. I do know of someone who, I don't know if they still go in and listen, but who used to go and listen to, and they're in the States, so this is completely legal, but they used to basically light up a joint and just go in and listen to Anita and Vodka Man just to amuse themselves. I don't know if they still do that, but probably today, if there was a live stream with her, would be a good time for that person to be doing that again. Anyway. Yeah, because, you know, Anita doesn't drink red wine. Anita doesn't drink wine, does she? No, doesn't drink wine. Although, you know, I did do a video where basically she admits to it. Yeah, sometimes you just got to. Yeah, like, Mike, listen. Mike, listen. Mike, listen. Honestly, it's a bit alarming. Actually, she stopped doing that. I haven't listened for so long, but the last couple of times that I listened to that live stream that they do, I didn't hear her doing the Mike listen. I don't know if she still does, but yep. Oh dear. Honestly, the woman needs some medication and some mental health support. That's it. Pure as the driven snow. Doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. Yeah. No, neither of them do. Exactly. It's disturbing, that's for sure. Okie dokie. Let's do... No, you can forget it. You just spent 20 minutes outside. Get yourself some biscuits and settle down, okay? Yeah, you can get biscuits and settle down. Sorry, having words with the Chihuahua. I think he's just Maybe he's affected by the full moon. Yeah, she probably needs less medication. That's probably the case. Okay, just give me a second while I get him sorted and settled.
So tall, the cars are parked and watching me, they speed away when I step out the door. They take my pics and videos galore. Drones are buzzing high above my place, yet none appear online to show their face. No one sees my mom making the ground, just silent lights without a sound. Up in the sky, lights of every color shining bright. They flock to watch me every night, hoping for a glimpse or a fight. I run so fast they can't keep up. They chase me through the wasted flush every night.
Okay, sorry about that. This is just too cute. I was doing a DoorDash order last night and I spotted Kinder Surprises in the shopping list thing on DoorDash. So I thought, I had a dog that used to love the little plastic capsules that the toys come in. So I bought a Kinder Surprise and I had the capsule that I was going to give to Mouse as a toy to play with. And I must have knocked it off my desk while I was getting ready. The reason he was kind of dancing around and looking at me and trying to figure out if I was watching wasn't because he wanted to go out again or anything like that. He'd found that and he'd hidden it in my bedroom. And he thought he'd found himself a treasure that he wasn't meant to have. So it was a guilt act, not actually anything else. But it was, I got it for him in the first place. So anyway, found himself a toy, thought it was illegal. Turns out it wasn't. He's a funny little man. Okay, so now before there's any more interruptions, let's jump in.
Trades in their car on a Tuesday, meaning Cindy. Who calls tax credit right after the kids go missing, like on the Monday or whatever it was?
Now, I've said this before, but I'm just going to say it again because this is a different live stream. It bugs me that this was the first live stream I think that Sunny had done in like 2.5 months. She wasn't aware of the Anita situation. She really wasn't aware of what Anita was like. and she's taken a lot of what Anita said on face value. Now, we know that Anita is full of BS, and that maybe there were a few conversations with Cindy at the point in time where she was there for like somewhere between 2 days to 5 days. But most of the stuff that Anita comes out with, and probably about 99% of what she comes out with, is stuff that she's heard somewhere else. And I should rephrase that. Probably about 80% is stuff that she's heard somewhere else. And then about 19% is stuff she's made up herself. And then about 1% is stuff she's got directly from Cindy. She's not this wonderful source of information that Sunny seems to think she is. And this is the one thing about this live stream that bugs me, and that is Sunny repeating Anita's BS like it's gospel. Because it's not. Yeah, Mouse is such a dag. Because he does this thing. If he thinks he's found something that he's not meant to have, it's like it's like he's tippy-toeing through the house and he vanishes into my bedroom. And you can guarantee that whatever it is, he's taken it into my bedroom to destroy or to play with. So, I should have guessed. The fact that he left the room should have been enough of a cue for me to realise that he thought he was up to something. Honestly, the stories I could tell you about my cat. She doesn't live with me anymore because I live on a very busy road and I couldn't stop her getting outside. So she lives with my niece for her own safety. But her name is Mischief, and there's a reason for that. Anyway, so now that I've just had my rant about Sunny, oh yeah, 3 a.m. Zoomies. Apparently, when we go to bed at night, that's time for Mouse to go berserk. And it's not uncommon for me to have a soft toy or even a shoe dropped on my face when I'm trying to get to sleep. It's always fun. I reckon she's been lurking from day one. I reckon she's been... I could believe that, honestly. Oh dear! And now he's barking because the neighbour's putting their wheelie bin out. Yeah, I got the sometimes part. Oh dear! Yeah, it must be a full moon because Mouse is off the show. Like. Oh dear. My cat was one of the ones that is one of the ones that likes to throw things on the floor just for the fun of it. Get up on the kitchen bench and find something to throw down. Yep, jokes that he doesn't even pay rent. I'm still trying to find all the pens that my cat stole before she went to live with my niece. No, I got 2 because I know that he's going to destroy the first capsule, and I love the chocolate. The toys went straight into the op shop bag, so they'll end up at an op shop somewhere. But I got 2, so he's got a spare. The other one's in a drawer, so that he can have that after he's destroyed the first one. But given his reaction, I'm probably going to have to buy more over time because he loves those. He thinks that capsule is perfect and it's the right size for him. So he's probably going to have a great time with that until it's destroyed and then want another one. I may have found one of his favourite toys. Okay, now I've had my rant and once again let the squirrels loose. Let's hear some more of this.
I have more information on that. I know I said this in the, some of my
It's true.
earlier, time speaking out. Malaya, the first thing she asked for was, our daughter's ultrasound pictures, right?
Yeah.
That's not really of importance to the case at all. But
Right.
the next thing she asked for was,
Birth certificates, right?
yeah, birth certificates, school photos, and I believe it was their health cards. I'm trying to recall.
Right. Probably.
I think that's what it was. And then some of the next thing she asked for was what was it? The custody documents from her and Cody's court case
Okay.
with Lily and Jack.
This goes back to what I was saying yesterday about Daniel giving enough information. Yeah, exactly, Charlotte. And I'm just about to slap him in the face for this. He's again trying to give us enough information to make us go with the narrative he wants us to believe. He's saying all the things that in his mind would make it sound like the children are still alive. Because remember, up until I think Michelle Glasgow came out and said no, they weren't given status. But up until she did that, him and Darren were pushing the narrative that the children were granted status the day they went missing or something ridiculous like that. And then Michelle Glasgow finally came out and said that's bullshit. The children weren't given status. So what he's trying to make people believe here is that these are all the things that she would want because she's got the children hidden away somewhere. And that's exactly the thing, Bonza. These are the things that are important parts of your children's life. The ultrasound of the baby M, okay, that isn't connected with Lily and Jack, but their birth certificates, their school photos, healthcare cards, the custody documents. These are all important snapshots of their life. So, of course, she's going to want them. And like I said, I believe that she does know they're deceased. I believe she knows what happened to them. So, yes, these are going to be important to her. Especially birth certificates. That bit of paper that says your children did exist. So, exactly. If the healthcare cards were used, then authorities would know straight away. But he's made a lie of that because when he said about sneaking up behind her with the car, not with the car, at her car, he made that weird statement about he thought it was probably healthcare cards, but he doesn't know because it's a crime to open someone's mail, which to me says that he did open it and he knew it was their healthcare cards or whatever. So I don't think it was. I don't think they were what were sent to him. Exactly. when it comes to time for death certificates, then she needs their birth certificates. It's, you know, it's just a fact of the matter. But, you know, at the end of the day, apparently not. Apparently not. It was definitely like Michelle Glasgow or someone who actually would know who came out and said they weren't granted status. I think it was that she never actually applied for status for them. They probably would maybe be given status if she applied for it. But all we know is that they weren't. Yeah, he is. He's just a shocking gaslighter. Like, to me, this list he's giving, oh, okay, so it is complicated because Cody's not Indigenous, right? Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, we're talking about someone who you've heard in some of the other bits of audio where he basically has no concept of empathy. So he certainly wouldn't understand sentimentality. I mean, he does to some extent because he claims that he kept Baby M's first Christmas decoration. But to him, he wouldn't understand the importance of the birth certificates or any of that stuff like that. No, you did say. Oh, yeah. I read it as doesn't anyway. I read it as doesn't. You know, if you lack empathy, then you're not going to understand sentimentality either. It's just, you know. I mean, you know, him saying that he wanted to keep Baby M's first Christmas decoration, I would actually say that's probably more to do with wanting to spite Malaya than anything else. Also because, you know, he thinks of Baby M as his, not theirs, his. So, yeah, you know. Yeah, that's the kind of take I had when he spoke about wanting to keep that Christmas decoration. I think it was more just out of spite, basically. Yeah. That's the sense I get, that she's a Mackenzie. So she's his property. Because he repeatedly, he was better in this live stream, but in Charmaine's, he repeatedly referred to Baby M as his. Now, I think we've clarified that. I think we've cleared that up. I think, and this is no better than Daniel, given that Belinda asked for this one thing, but I believe that Belinda was finally told that Malaya kept it. All Belinda wanted was their Christmas stockings. Jack's used to be Cody's Christmas stocking, and I think she said she made Lily's Christmas stocking. And there was a lot of confusion at first. Nobody would give any answers as to where these were. Cheryl was saying that they never got them. Daniel was saying he gave them to investigators, and then finally someone told Belinda that Malaya had wanted them and decided to keep them. And of course, Belinda was so graceful about it and was like, well, if she wanted to keep them, then, well and good. But to me, Malaya's got bags and bags of things of Lily and Jack. So why can't she just give up those 2 stockings and let the children's grandmother have those? I'm not sure, but she sounds quite confident about it. I do believe it came from Malaya's side of the family, because I remember last time I spoke about it and Belinda messaged me afterwards and said, look, actually, no, Malaya has them. She wanted to keep them. Again, I think it's... Look, I get that Malaya is their mother. But, maybe she can learn a little bit of empathy and a little bit of compassion for other people and just try and see things through Belinda's eyes, because they're still Belinda's grandchildren. And, especially Jack's Christmas stocking having originally been Cody's. Like, I don't know. It's petty, if you ask me. Yeah. That's the thing. He doesn't realise that people don't think like he does. And this is where he's completely mind blown by the fact that people aren't buying his stories, because we can see through them. But he can't fathom the idea that other people don't think like him. Not a chance. No way. He's not going to get custody of any of his children. He's going to be lucky if he gets access to any of his children. Yeah. Oh, it's therapeutic for her to have the children's stuff around her. And she's going to buy more and more and more. She's got things from when they were babies. She was showing that alpaca or whatever it was. Those Christmas stockings are probably in a box somewhere. How many of Lily and Jack's belongings is she going to be able to have out in one spot? She can't have it all out. I bet most of it's still in bags. Exactly. Go buy them some new Christmas stockings, Malaya, since you think they're coming home, and give Belinda the ones that have meaning for Belinda. Exactly. 100%. I just think it's unfair. Belinda's only asked for that one thing. And Malaya's too self-centered. Yeah, apparently.
Investigators came and got them as well, and then eventually, after like 5 or 6 months, all Jack and Lily's clothes and toys, they went with investigators to Cheryl's house, as I'm told.
That's a weird way that he said that. Exactly. That's such a good point too. She's got all the memories that Belinda didn't get for those 2 years, that she didn't get to see them at all. All Belinda has from those 2 years is photos that Malaya posted on Facebook. So, you know, it's not asking too much. Well, this is what someone from Malaya's side told Cheryl. We know that the stockings were on top of the bags of things that were collected by detectives, which I don't think I've got them on this MacBook. So, you know, as of whenever it was that Belinda was asking for them, they did still exist. Yeah, exactly. You know, Cheryl wasn't a part of their life. She clearly met them a few times at birthdays and stuff. But yeah, anyway, moving on from that. The way he's saying here, I don't believe that he handed over all Lily and Jack's clothes and toys. Based on what he's saying here. He's like, then eventually after like 5 or 6 months, Jack and Lily's clothes and toys, they went with investigators to Cheryl's house, as I'm told. That's a really vague way of saying it. He's not saying that he bagged all of them up. There's a lot of ums in there. There's a lot of vagueness, and the as I'm told sounds like a little bit of my brain is not working properly right now. He's being evasive. He's saying, as I'm told, to basically steer around the fact that there probably weren't everything in those bags, in my opinion. Yep. I think a lot of that stuff ended up in the trash. I think this doll that Cheryl brought up on that search wasn't with Lily. I think Daniel either threw it out or kept it for his own children, for his own daughter. We know Janie was throwing stuff out on the road when she knew that Malaya and that would be driving past on the search day. The way he says that just makes me think he hasn't handed over all the toys. And I'd be willing to bet that doll either got thrown out or is still at the house because maybe his daughter liked it and he thought he'd keep it for his daughter. Yeah, I know. Why? She's got all of Jack and Lily's things. 2 little stockings. That's not a big ask. You see, that's what I was thinking. I was willing to bet that the doll was a gift from Cindy, or it was a gift that Malaya had bought Lily. It could have been the last gift that Malaya had bought Lily. It could have been Lily's birthday present from March from either Cindy or Malaya. And I do think that that's why it wasn't handed over. I think it was either thrown out or, like I said, kept for his daughter. Oh, so do I. Jeez, so do I. I like to think that the universe does dole out karma when it is needed. it looks like, and I've said this before, because it looks kind of too grown up for a 6-year-old, which makes me think it was probably something Malaya bought. And maybe I just think there's some sort of personal connection with that doll in terms of either with Malaya or with Cindy or both. And I reckon that's the reason why it's missing. Not because Lily had it, but because it was still on Gairloch Road when Malaya left, and something happened to it so that it didn't end up going to Malaya. I could be wrong, but it's just, that's the sense I get in terms of the evasive way that Daniel talks about some of the things that supposedly were handed over, and also the fact that it was never brought up by RCMP, and they haven't come out and changed the page where the reward is. That page still only has the backpack and the boots on there and a description of their clothes. Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Like, the last thing I'd be thinking about is my child tax credit. Did you hear Nita when she said that Cindy didn't even miss a day of work and that?
Okay. She also explained this to me as well. In terms of the child tax credits, as soon as Malaya was single, that changed things. And it meant that she could actually get some sort of income coming in. So it wouldn't surprise me if in the first few days of weekdays, business hours, that maybe she did follow up on her child tax credits. Because I could imagine Cindy saying, okay, well, you need to get yourself organised and you need to have some sort of money coming in. Now, obviously, that is amazing for a parent whose children are missing and whose brain should be complete utter mush. But at the same time, at that point in time, she still had baby M. I mean, we don't know, and it wouldn't surprise me, we don't know if maybe Cindy did all the paperwork for her. Maybe Cindy went into business mode, because I can't see Malaya doing it for herself. So if there's any truth for this, and we don't know if there's any truth to this, but if there's any truth to this, I could see this being something that comes from Cindy, being a situation of her going, well, you're not going to live off me. You're going to need money. Let's get this in. So again, first of all, it's not verifiable. This is information that, as far as I know, has come from Anita, Scam Nita. But if there is any truth to that, basically we know, regardless of how much Daniel says it, we know there was tension between Cindy and Malaya. We've heard it from other sources. We've heard from Belinda as well. So it would have only been a temporary thing for Malaya to stay at Cindy's place anyway. So I think, that there was a baby to be looked after. And probably a good chance that neither Cindy or Malaya wanted Malaya staying at Cindy's place for long. So, you know, if there's any truth in it, I'm not making a big deal of it. Like, yeah. And, you know, what people have got to appreciate is that when you leave any sort of relationship, the first thing you need is security, financial security. You've still got to feed yourself. And like I said, given that Cindy is a nurse, I would imagine she was all business after Malaya left the property. Oh, I know. I know. Yeah, exactly. I won't go down that path, but yeah. I'll definitely. I think Malaya's been enabled her entire life. Like I said, if she was applying for child tax credits, it would have been someone doing it on her behalf and making her sign the paperwork. Because Malaya has learned to basically, they call it weaponized helplessness or something like that. You know, she's learned that if she acts like she's helpless and she can't do it, someone else will do it for her. Me too, Deb. Didn't have a perfect relationship with my mother, but you miss them when they're gone. Okay, let's keep going.
She traded in her car. I mean, that doesn't sound like she's lying.
Yeah, and Anita.
Geez, Sonny. Welcome in, Unky. Doesn't sound like she's lying. And that's the problem with Anita. She's so convinced of her own bullshit little fantasy stories that you get people like Sonny who should know better. Yeah, learned helplessness. Clearly my brain's a bit delayed today. This is where I get really angry with Sonny. She should know better. She's giving Anita credibility by saying stuff like this. When, oh yeah, look, you know, that's the thing. In those circumstances, yes, Malaya would have needed help. But at the same time, she's made a life of it. So, you know, can go both ways with that, I guess. But in that particular instance, I would imagine that she did actually need the help and that she wouldn't have had the capacity to do it herself. There is absolutely no evidence of Cindy having traded in her car. Now, this story actually didn't originally come from Anita. This story originally came from Durwood. And then Anita regurgitated it and turned it into one of her theme songs. And yet, Cindy doesn't realise this. And she's giving it credibility. She's giving credibility to something that has come from Durwood. Exactly. So I'm guessing this is why Daniel is so gleeful when it comes to Cindy talking about what Anita has said or hasn't said in terms of Malaya and that. Because it's just playing into him, playing into his whole game. Watch out that those drones don't sweep on you there, Fred. And good to see you in here. Welcome in. Just, yeah, keep an eye out for drones because it sounds like they have minds of their own, and you don't want them swooping on you because that would be bad. Okay, sorry, just checking on Amira. Oh, exactly. And I do need to get back to, I was working on a video on that and then something distracted me, as it often does. Honestly, I get systems in place for upcoming videos. And then I forget about that system and I start a new system and I end up forgetting what it is that I'm meant to be working on. Or I'll sit down after lunch to start on a video and my mind goes, do I want to do this one or this one or this one? And then I just go into like overload. And my mind's like, I can't even think now what I want to do because there's too many in my head and I don't know which one to choose. But I think I need someone to just make me prioritize and go, this is the one you're going to work on today. Anyway, that's just an aside. Yeah. Can we have photos of the 40 to 50 drones if you do go out that way, Fred? Or a video? I want a video of the drones doing that whole nodding up and down like Daniel said. Australia's got magpies and Lansdowne Station has drones. Yeah, how many colours are the drones? We need to know this. So, yeah, any video footage or any photos, yeah, please let us know, definitely. Oh, dear. Anyway, I'll just run this back a bit, having had my rant yet again.
She didn't even miss a day of work and that she traded in her car. I mean, that doesn't sound like she's lying.
Yeah, and Anita, I can't say that Anita's lying on the aspects of Malay and Cindy because she has an interpersonal relationship with them. But as it goes for me and Mike,
Hey, that was a 5-syllable word. Someone taught him a big word. And it actually kind of works. She has an interpersonal relationship with them. It's completely wanky and it's not something that you would actually say in a conversation. And in fact, it's kind of still not really the right usage. Yeah, do that. Oh, maybe we can find someone who can loan him a drone. Those things are damn expensive. Oh, dear. So true. So true. Yeah, you need to get some rest, Summer. You don't give yourself enough time away from this, I think. I do appreciate you being here very, very much, but I also, would like to know that you're also looking after yourself. I'm trying to think if there is any other way of any other kind of relationship. You could have an inter-drone relationship, maybe. Oh, Daniel's a pussy. He wouldn't go. Oh, he wouldn't go near you. He'll hide. Yeah, or she'll set Fluffy on you. Not Fluffy, sorry. Tucker. She'll set Tucker onto you. I'm pretty certain there isn't anything different than a interpersonal relationship. But, you know, when we use interpersonal, we're talking about, that's terminology that you use when you're talking about someone having good interpersonal skills and stuff like that. It's not something when you're talking about relationships, really. But anyway, let him think that he's smart because it makes him feel good. But you can see what he's doing here. He knows that this story about the cars come from Durwood because he's in on all that. Now, if he's so capable of applying logic to so many of the other things that Anita says, then he should be capable of applying logic to what she's saying about Cindy and Malaya and that, and applying logic in knowing that unless they were locked in a room talking flat out for 5 days, then all this information that Anita claims to have from Cindy and Malaya does not come from them. And if he's applying logic, he would see that this information comes from other sources prior to Anita coming out. But he has to ignore that because it helps his narrative. Oh, good. I'm going to check up on you and make sure you do take some time out and watch a movie tonight. It's important to have that time out. I know you could easily shorten it by an hour if you pulled out all his ridiculous excessive words. Yeah. Oh, that came from Haley. Right. Then we can confirm. Because I had heard that she'd only looked after the baby for a few hours. But I wasn't sure where it came from. But if it's come from Haley, I will quite happily put that information out there because I trust Haley's word. There are 3 people in this case that I trust on their word. And that's Haley, Belinda, and Chelsea. They have not once given me any reason to doubt what they have to say. I mean, if Belinda's sister and niece were to come out and speak, I think I would be trusting them as well. But, you know, they're in the background. But if this is directly from Haley, then it is accurate. So, yeah, 100%. Low bar. Dear idea. Oh wow, it sounds like you've got some nice days coming up. That sounds good. I hope you enjoy them. Yes, now that's what we've been told. He does over-exaggerate, but I trust what we've heard from him as well. That's for sure. I just am cautious because I have been told that he can over-exaggerate. Yes, we've seen that up in the eaves of the house. So, yeah, don't go too far up that driveway. You don't want him sending his hidden drones after you because he's probably got secret drones hidden somewhere. Yeah, that's the thing. He didn't know he was being recorded. He was finally getting a chance to vent, in my opinion. a stranger who he believed wouldn't be sharing the information with someone. And I do feel sorry for him, because I can imagine that the repercussions afterwards were probably not so good.
We don't know Anita. We never met her before. So
Yeah.
she doesn't know anything about us, not unless it's what Malay and Cindy told her. And at that point, it would be a mixed perspective of, hatred toward me and Mom.
So this is what I'm talking about, the whole him cherry picking what information he uses. Basically, on one hand, he's going, anything that Anita says about Cindy and Malaya, that must be true, because, she knows them. But anything she says about us, that can't be true in any way whatsoever. Maybe Cindy told her about it, but it's not true. So he's doing some serious cherry picking here. When the fact of the matter is, nobody should be paying attention to anything Anita says, because it's either complete utter made up BS or it's regurgitated information, not all of which is verified. I agree. Not only that, Belinda has said that things that she told Anita that Anita didn't know, Anita has since come out and said that she was told this by Cindy. So, 100% proof of her lies. You could find any of the things that aren't real fantasy stories, but, the basis of all her stories, you can find it in videos on YouTube or in conversations on Facebook or stuff that Durwood has said before. Sorry, just reading comments. Yeah. True. Oh my gosh, wow. Yep. That wouldn't surprise me in the least. She does. She harvests stories and puts them out as her own. She'll never. She claims that she's a witness, but she will never be used to testify in court. RCMP are well aware of her. They're well aware of what's going on with that. And I do have that firsthand. So no, she's never going to be a witness in court. She might be a witness in her own little imaginary court, but never in court. She just keeps making up story after story, harvesting stories from other people. It baffles me that she hasn't been shut down, especially knowing that the RCMP know about her. And honestly, Vodka Man has completely destroyed any credibility that he might have had. And his little unbalanced friend has destroyed any credibility that he might have had by going along with it. They don't even consider her as a witness. She's just another nut job that's come out in this case. Yeah, exactly. She has not witnessed anything. She claims to have been there for every single thing that happened. She claims she was there the day after Malaya left the... Yep. She claims she was there the day after Malaya left the property. She also claims that she drove Malaya and baby M to the reserve. That's like 6 weeks apart. She claims that she was there. She was out, but she came back. You know, she'd been out somewhere and she came back after Tint had been there. And Cindy was telling her about Tint. Tint didn't go there till August. And I know there's another one that she's claimed to have been present for as well, but I can't think what that was. So, you know, even her stories are that she was there for a week. So how could you be there for a week and witness things over a 3-month period? Yeah, this whole claim of driving the baby to the reserve. I don't know. I don't even pay attention to his channel because he's just he has a tiny brain. Yep. The bottom, from about where the bin sits down, is all government property on Gairloch Road. I remember showing a property map, and it's actually quite a wide section. Anyway, sorry, I get triggered by Sunny and Daniel giving Anita any sort of credit because it just makes me angry.
I try to listen to what things that make sense. And what made sense was that being told that Malaya was getting dolled up and acting like she didn't have 2 children missing.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think that Anita's
I believe Haley said that as well.
Yep, ding, ding, ding. Exactly, Daniel. Haley said that first. And Malaya, and Anita, again, story harvested and put it out as her own story. You are so spot on there about that, Grover. Spot on. And what bugs me here, Sunny knows that Haley said this first because Haley said it to Sunny. This was in the audio that Sunny played just before she went off air for 2.5 months. Sorry, Sunny. Love you dearly, but you got me really triggered and upset with your giving credibility to Anita here. And it's just, yeah, anyway.
Of Malaya.
Yeah. Now, in saying that, I don't think that Anita's off when she says that she just felt this whole weirdness while she was there. Like, meaning like 2 children are missing and you're going out with...
Hi, Princess Pillow. Good to see you in here. And again, I'm going to call BS on that. Anita is a narcissist at the very least. She's not going to pick up on vibes from the people around her because Anita is in her own little bubble. She's not capable of picking up on vibes from other people because her focus is 100% inwards. So again, she's heard someone saying something along those lines and decided it was a good story to use. Now, I'm going to try and give Sunny the benefit of the doubt here and say that this is probably about 3 or 4 hours into this live stream. Yeah. Yep. That's probably the case. It was probably a case of they were wanting to get her out of the house and were probably giving her the cold shoulder. Maybe that's what she sensed. The weirdness was probably them not falling over her and going, "Oh, Anita, it's so good to see you after all this time." Because I really don't think that they would have seen much of her until she inserted herself. And I just can't help thinking that she did insert herself at Durwood's request. Oh, yeah. She's just delusional. Utterly, utterly delusional. Did she really? Oh my gosh. That must be one of the more recent ones. I haven't heard that one. Honest to goodness, this woman, the one where I made the song out of, I actually thought she was on the verge of a psychotic break when that live stream happened. And I just feel that this is someone who is unmedicated, unsupervised, and should not be speaking on any live streams. I know. And the irony is that she'd already said multiple times that Cindy had never been out to the trailer. And then you get this live stream where someone's saying to Vodka Man, "Oh, Anita sounds like this person from Hidden in the Fogs channel." And they're talking specifically about the cabins, the plumber going up to open the cabins. And the very next day, Anita comes out with this bullshit story about Cindy hiding under the blanket while she goes to the trailer, and then they happen to go out to these cabins and they find these fake IDs. I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously, Anita, go take some medication. Yep, and only for a few hours, exactly. Yeah, I saw that video. I thought it was pretty pathetic because it was taking stuff out of context. There was no context to what they were showing. To me, it just showed someone was extremely uneducated and quite ignorant. Whoops. I know. Hang on, where's that gone? And see, here's the funny thing. I think I've probably shared these messages before. When Anita came out on Facebook doing I drove the baby to the reserve, I did what apparently many, many other people did, and I sent her a private message saying I'd be interested to hear more of this story. And the first thing she said to me was, "I've been told by investigators not to talk to anyone about this." So I was like, okay, good. So I messaged her back and said, "That's fine. I totally respect that. Thank you. End of conversation kind of thing." And then she came back with a bunch of messages. And one of the messages she sent me was that Cindy had never even been to the trailer. And I messaged her back and I said, I'm a bit confused about this because Janie has said that Cindy has been to the trailer, and Janie hates Cindy. Why would she say that? And I can't remember if I mentioned also that Wade had said about them going to the trailer, or whether I thought of that afterwards. But as soon as I asked her that, as soon as I questioned her lie about Cindy never having been to the trailer, she ghosted me. She sent me some sort of audio clip from Vodka Man's channel and then ghosted me. And it sounds like she's done that with a lot of people. The moment they questioned her, she ghosted them. She can't remember her lies. Where are we? Oh, yeah. You know, at the moment, on a good day, one of my live streams might earn me, on a good day, if it gets lots of views, like more than what I've been getting lately, it might earn me $10. I put in quite often, it would be rare for me to put in less than 12 hours a day on my channel. I worked it out last night that I am earning less than $1 an hour. Does that make me a grifter? Like, I don't think they have the faintest clue what people actually earn on YouTube. But I can assure you that it's not bucket loads of money. And that many of us, myself, Sunny, Charmaine, Justin, we do this because we want to be voices for Lily and Jack, for Justin does it for Nancy Guthrie, for Maddie Soto. We're not doing it to make money off victims. Thank you very much, Summer Breeze. Much, much appreciated. So this tosser coming out and claiming that we're all in it for the money, we're complete scammers. I don't know how they come up with this. This idiot came up with this statistic of content creators have made over $1 million on this case. Who would that be? Because I look at the content creators who are covering this case. Justin probably makes a decent amount each week, but it wouldn't come anywhere near. It was a really, really stupid video. I need to bite my tongue because I actually told myself I wasn't going to address it. But anyway, I'll move on from that because, yeah, it was. Don't apologize. Don't apologize because you had every right to bring it up and every right to be annoyed by it, and I think a lot of people were annoyed by it. It was pushing an agenda. Someone with a channel that was created on the 16th of August with no name attached to the channel pushing an agenda, in my opinion. Anyway, let's go back to this.
Cheryl, and you're home but
Hang
not
on.
home.
I'll run it back a little bit. We are squirrelating. Yep.
Hatred toward me and mom.
I try to listen to what things that make sense. And what made sense was that being told that Malaya was getting dolled up and acting like she didn't have 2 children missing.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think that Anita's
I
sense
believe Haley said that as well.
of
Of Malaya.
yeah. Now, in saying that, I don't think that Anita's off when she says that she just felt this whole
I think Sunny was struggling here. I think she probably should have changed the topic, in my opinion.
weirdness while she was there. Like,
Yeah.
meaning like 2 children are missing and you're going out with Cheryl and you're home but not home, and you're, some of those things that you said would sound logical that they're
Yeah,
not,
but they're more grounded things
answers,
he says. They're more grounded.
you
But
know?
then you have like that recording that was done with her, her and whoever that was. That wasn't my friend. That wasn't Chance. I want to clarify that.
What report-
I really don't believe that recording was Chance. Yeah. I've got copies of those, but I swear I will never put them on my channel because they're disgusting. He is a disgusting individual. I think, did Justin put them on his channel? I know someone spoke about them. But yeah, truly, truly disgusting. I'm a small channel though. Hopefully, my views will eventually go up again. Someone like Justin probably earns more. Well, we know Justin earns more. You got to start somewhere, I guess. Yeah, Cheryl hasn't done. No one who has spoken for Malaya has done her any favors. Oh yeah. The text messages between him and that Taylor that was his girlfriend for a while. There are some that I think only 1 or 2 content creators have shared because they were really disgusting. They were basically talking about grape kind of thing. Yeah, it's sickening. I hope they're using them as yeah, I hope they're using them as evidence in his court case. Yep. And in not such nice words either. If Princess Pillow were to write exactly the sort of thing that he said, whoops, sorry, just trying to. If Princess wrote exactly what Daniel said, it could get my live stream flagged, put it that way. Yeah.
So like I don't know much about this whole recording.
Yeah, you weren't around for that, but it was one of the craziest recordings I have ever heard, and it was. I don't know if you want to play it on your channel or not, but it's one of the most crazy. It's completely up in the air, and that's not Chance. And
what was it, Jordan?
I don't know who it was. I don't think it was Jordan either.
I bet it was Anita's boyfriend. It was definitely not a real recording. It was as fake as they could be. There's no way that was a real recording. I don't know who Anita got to do it with her. It wasn't Vodka Man because it didn't have his crazy accent. But it was a fake recording, 100%.
Okay.
And I know it wasn't Chance because, Chance messaged me right away after because Anita sent the RCMP to Chance's house.
Oh.
And Anita told the RCMP that Chance assaulted her and that he was going to do that he threatened her and he was going to do a mass shooting in Pictou County. The RCMP showed up to Chance's house and he's like, you know, what's going on? He's just like, you have guns and you're going to do a mass shooting. You assaulted this Anita girl. Chance is like, I don't even know who Anita is. I have no idea. And then Anita's like sending him the recording, and like that recording's like, it wasn't Chance, and Chance lost his job over this bullshit.
Oh, really?
The things Anita was saying when she said that, this is the reason why I honestly thought that she was on the verge of having some sort of episode. Oh, Daphne, I forgot to say Daphne as well. Daphne works her butt off as well. And she's in it for the right reasons as well. I feel bad now. I really should have mentioned Daphne. I haven't. She's been so focused on Nancy Guthrie that I haven't been following her for a while. But she's another one who works her butt off. Is doing this for the right reasons. Oh, thank you. Yes, and Michelle. Bingo. And Mike MX. Anyone accusing any of those channels of not being in it for the right reasons needs to go and shake their head a little bit, because we're talking about some content creators who are very dedicated to this case. Yeah, Mikey Max. Justin, Daphne, Michelle, Mike, Sunny, Charmaine. They are dedicated to this case. They do this for the right reasons. The fact that anyone would consider accusing them of being grifters, accusing them of coming into this to make money off the case, it's deplorable. And yeah, a shout out to all those channels for all the hard work that they've put into this case. Michelle After Dark is very good. She is. Her stuff on the dogs is really good. When she's doing stuff that's like research stuff, you know, this is someone who, I believe she has like a PhD or something anyway. She's someone who is extremely well educated. She backs up her opinions. So when she comes and says that she believes something, she tells you why she believes it. She backs up her opinions. Oh, yeah, look, Michelle doesn't watch everyone else's content. She hasn't got time to watch everyone else's content. And there are some things that she misses in terms of, you know, not really. I mean, I've had to have you guys educate me so much about Canada. I can remember my first couple of videos, I had to call the RCMP Mounties because I couldn't get my mouth around RCMP. Oh, I love Paula. I'm kind of hanging out for Paula to get into another case that I can dig into. Yep. Thank you, Deb. the squirrels are so running loose today.
Yeah, because so many people were calling his work harassing
what I
his
mean.
workplace that he lost his job, and
But
he liked that job. And Chance
Yeah.
never did anything wrong. This
was-
was all caused by Anita's just lack of just lack of this humility.
Well, first of all, I've never heard.
He couldn't get the thesaurus open. He couldn't find a big word. He was stuck. That pretty much sums it up. Yep. Complete utter BS. He's reveling in this because it basically makes him look better if he can crap all over Scamnita. Yes, you are correct. There are more big words coming up. So he stumbled over that one, but that's okay. He's got more.
This recording, I probably don't want to hear this
No,
recording.
you really don't want to hear it. I mean, it's kind of laughable and funny at the
But
same
not.
time that it's disturbing, because she plays into it like some kind of delusional character.
He's now spitting out those words. No more 5-syllable words at this point in time. But, you know, we've got the delusional character, laughable. Okay, in terms of, I just want to address the question about Chance being... now, just to be clear, Chance wasn't actually still working at the jail as Anita in that claim. He was working, I think it was like a, it was something like kind of like a storefront kind of thing. And his employer basically didn't want the negative attention that would have come from having him working there. So now this is only coming from Chance. And the reason why I didn't take a chance up on him asking to, you know, do a conversation with me on a live stream or something was because even though I came out in defense of him and Jordan and said that the allegations aren't proven, I still found that he was doing a lot of goofing around. So I didn't want to put my reputation on having someone come on my channel that I couldn't say for 100% that they were being truthful. I'm trying to be nice about this and diplomatic. So I kind of directed him off to Charmaine instead. So while that is the information that's come directly from Chance, take that as you will. Probably that's the best way for me to say it. Is that, am I being diplomatic enough? Anyway, yeah, that's probably the best way I can put it.
And
Yeah, like maybe her imagination's like really overactive, I think, on some of these thoughts.
I think she thought it was a good idea to receive more validation that, you know, she was making up this stuff.
He was only doing it for a very short period of time. I suspect, now he was charged with those offences about a month after Lily and Jack went missing. And I suspect that's when he stopped working as a correctional officer. So it had been pretty much a year of working elsewhere before Scamnita came out with these stories. So, you know, maybe he didn't even make the grade. I know that he did post on his page long before Lily and Jack went missing that he had a job as a correctional officer, but maybe he didn't get through the training. You know, it's not something that I asked him about, because, like I said, I just kind of handballed it and was like, look, you know, I think that Charmaine is the best option for you and Jordan. Yeah, it could have been admin. Yeah. It's still my birthday on the other side of the world. I guess that works. Thanks for that. That's kind of actually amusing because we have a joke in my family because my birthday's the 25th of August and my sister's the 24th of May. And we used to joke about me getting a dad birthday because Dad got ours mixed up, and I'd get Dad wishing me happy birthday on the 24th and like a day early, and my sister always got it a day late. So she'll be really pissed if she knows that I've had a third birthday now, that I now get a Canadian birthday as well. So just throw that in.
Like, oh, like people came to my house in ski masks, and I had to flee my house, and I was driving 140 up the road, and I passed 4 cars, and it's like you just admitted to committing a driving infraction.
Have I got that actual one on here? No, I do. This is only a short one, but I'll play this.
I called the Tantal and RCMP, and 6 police cars got to my house. Anyway, my husband said, Anita, there's 6 police here. Now my husband got here, and 4 police were here. My husband said, I don't need you, and he doesn't. I did 140. I don't care if you believe me. I know what happened to me today. I called my husband. I said, they're after me. My husband said, get to the Tantal and RCMP. My husband came to the house. There was 5 police cars here. They came here, 6 police cars, and told my husband, I passed 4 vehicles doing 140. I said, I'm doing 140, and I passed 6 cars. I had to overtake 6 vehicles to get to the Tantal and RCMP. And I had to do 140 in a Mercedes, and I overpassed 3 people to get to the Tantal and RCMP. And I'm angry with the RCMP.
The silence
Mike,
of the
I had to
public
pass
is
4 cars.
yes.
Doing
Yes,
140 in my car. Told 3. Remember, I worked in a big law firm in Toronto. I sold my story to 3 good friends. I had a bar in Toronto. I told my story to 3 investigative reporters and said they're chasing me, and the stupid RCMP don't know what I'm talking about.
I thought that was probably a good time to pull that out. Yeah, that was the drunk live stream where the pair of them were getting drunk, and then at the end of it you get Vodka Man going like, are we still live or something like that, and she's like, what have you been drinking? And he says, vodka now, meaning that he'd been drinking something else beforehand. I like this. Thanks for the Canadian birthday wishes. I like that idea. Yeah, she doesn't drink wine. Nah. I so want to get in and do another one like this because it was fun. I watched a few after that because I wanted to keep records of some of the crap that she was coming out with. And also because, you know, at the time, there was a few of us that liked to just basically, you know, get in conversation over it while it was happening and just make fun of it. Anyway, back to this.
Yeah. See,
And yeah, it's just weird.
what I was listening to was just when she was talking about while she was at the house. not about any, say, Jordan drama
Mhm.
or Chance drama. I don't care about that stuff. I don't think that they have any involvement at all.
No, I don't either.
Jack and Lily,
They're
so I'm not,
very good people.
you know,
Yeah, from what you guys see, Jordan and Chance, they're very, very good, respectable people. But when you get
That didn't age well, did it? They're very good, respectable people. Yep. Okay. Good one, Daniel. That's why they're both in court. Yeah, the passing out from too much vodka was slightly alarming, but you know.
pushed to the edge and you get
Yeah.
criticized and you get blamed for something you don't know anything on, or you never did. It just
yeah.
it's just
Well, you hate being accused of something that's not true. You know, like in what world does a stepdad, like regardless, Daniel, in what world does the stepdad take more action, just in general, than the own mother of the children?
because he does what's right.
You know,
Oh, I can't believe this line has been brought out again. Yeah, definitely projection. 100% projection. Yep, exactly. So full of it. I can't believe that she's coming out with this again 15 months on or 12 months on whatever it was. This is the argument that I was fighting against in the early days of this case. This was the argument that was being put out in defense of Daniel, and that had so many people believing that Daniel was some sort of hero. What world does a stepdad take more action than the mother of the children? When the stepdad is a narcissist who is trying to control the narrative, yes, then you are going to see them come out a lot more. I did a video early on in the case comparing him with Ian Huntley. And I still believe in that. The reason he's been in front of the camera so often or on these live streams is the desperate need to control the narrative. Yep. He revels in it. He loves being in the limelight. He loves the attention. I think in the beginning, those early interviews, you can see he comes across as a bit nervous. He was off the show on drugs, but you could tell he was a bit nervous. But it's like he became addicted to it and suddenly realized that he was getting attention. And in those early days, that attention came with all these people saying, look, Daniel's innocent because he's speaking to the media. So it's, yeah, anyway. Yeah, definitely. Looks like they're in some sort of restaurant and she's been shoved there to avoid having to just try and keep her from running around and keep her quiet. Yeah, that one in the rain, that was the worst acting I've ever seen from anyone. But there was certainly a lot of stuttering as well. I think the progression that we see in the way he's acting is interesting, that's for sure. He was trying to pretend like he was concerned and he wasn't. Oh dear. Anyway, keep going. I've missed something in chat, but I'll keep going.
That's the way he was raised, is to do the right thing. It doesn't matter how much judgment or what people think of me. It's just I have to spread as much awareness as possible, and I know that no one is going to do that. other than I keep coming back to, Belinda has been doing it. And God bless her for that. But it's time that Malaya's family and Malaya speak out, and she could easily go on shenanigans. She has no problem, talking behind the scenes with her.
So, Daniel, what do you think now that Malaya has come out and done that interview? Are you still positive about her coming out and speaking? Or have you decided it wasn't such a good idea? I actually think he's quite happy about Malaya coming out, because I do believe that she didn't do herself any favors. Oh, yeah. Belinda's no fool. He thinks that... I mean, I think he thinks he's manipulating Belinda because she's got this guardianship thing going. But also it's that whole thing of he knows that the audience support Belinda. So he needs to sound like he supports Belinda as well to keep the audience on side. He's playing a game. Yeah. If Malaya speaks, then I'm going to come out and I'm going to weaponize what she says. Sure, Daniel, we believe that. We're still waiting to see you happen that. We're still waiting to see you do that. Exactly. Anyway, I'll go on a little bit more. Or do I? I've kind of screwed out a lot today. I'm guessing that a lot of people have probably already tuned out. So maybe I should call it a day. I'm not sure. Yeah, look, I think I've screwed out too much on this live stream, so it's probably a good spot to finish it there, and come back fresh tomorrow. Not so squirrely. So thanks for coming in. Please hit the like button on your way out. It's always very much appreciated. And if you're listening on replay, please leave a comment. Even if you're listening now, feel free to go back and leave a comment on replay. So on that note, thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Into